Hello YouTube, I just finished Remedy for Memory by Brista Drake, and I will say it is definitely a well-written book. There were a few typos in here. I figured the author would like me to mention that. There are a few typos in here, but it's definitely worth a read. The typos are easily overlooked. The story is very, very deep, very um, enlightening about it makes you think for about 5 seconds about how you treat other people, especially people who um, have feelings for you, or in some cases it allows you to realize how badly you might have been treated by somebody. Because this is definitely a book that is about relationships, and it's more than just relationships. It's friendship, really. At least that's what I've got from this book. I've, as somebody who writes as well and somebody who likes to read a lot, I do know that um, literature is very highly interpreted, and whether or not I know she wanted to in her Q&A at the end of the book, it said she wanted us to take away the fact that our first love is not necessarily going to be the person you end up with, and that you shouldn't compare your second love or anybody after that with your first love. Now, I will say this as somebody who's had a bad relationship. I have definitely, especially right now, I've compared the way I've been treated and kind of the way things are different, because really before that I hadn't really had anything that was particularly meaningful, particularly like even friendship based. A lot of it was just, you know, like there had to be, like, the whole into you kind of thing, like not really even a friendship thing, just an into you kind of thing, or a toxic relationship. And then when you're in something that isn't toxic, uh, for me, I'm trying, like, the friendship relationship that I'm in right now, I'm trying very hard to keep it from being toxic and bad, and allowing things to just kind of fall into place, which, um, if they do and they don't kind of thing, which is kind of actually that is in Remedy for Memory, I noticed, but it's from the point of view of the girl who's still hung up over somebody, and of course, that's not the only reason to keep things kind of like, look, we'll just take things slow kind of thing. Um, that people have. A lot of people do it for different reasons, but hers was definitely for the wrong reason in the character in the book, and so that was very interesting to read about. I thought just kind of um, how she copped out a little bit of a connection with a guy who clearly was just a really nice person who deserved a little bit more than what I I know there are probably some people who are going to go, deserved. I'm just going to, like, yeah, he did deserve not to be treated like a second class citizen, which is what she did in the book. And so it's fun, I think, to read a book that doesn't justify treating people, where the main character is the one treating the person badly, but it's not justified. One thing I will say about Aaron, though, is that Aaron's the main guy character in this book. He is a little creepy. There was that in there. I would have honestly been creeped out by him, even back then, and I wouldn't have pursued a friendship. I actually did have somebody who, granted, he asked out. I went to a mixed school. He asked out seniors in high school, reportedly, but he kept asking me out and asking me out, and I didn't do what this girl did. I quite literally tried to ignore him however often I could, because he wasn't just creepy in the sense that he followed me around everywhere. He was creepy also in the sense that he kind of didn't like it. He got, you know, that whole nice guy syndrome a lot of feminists talk about? Well, this is the one where he had the why don't you like me kind of thing without the I do nice things for you sort of thing. Or like, you know, I'm trying to get into your good graces, uh, flirting sort of thing. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it was very like I don't. I was in seventh grade too, and I wasn't interested in dating. I didn't care about dating at all, and so that was the other thing. Is I was just kind of I was not interested. I didn't want to date anybody. That changed, of course, next year when I had my first crush. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that with Aaron. The only difference between Aaron and that guy is that Aaron actually backed up his feelings with acts of you know, friendship, uh, helpfulness. I mean, a lot of stuff that you know you end up valuing later on, but when you're in high school, you're hung up over somebody that you liked a lot, and in some cases, for me, I ended up liking a guy for a long time, and I just didn't look for anybody else. Was disappointed a lot, but I didn't. I've always wondered later on, after I got into college, became more mature, whether or not one of the reasons why I liked this guy was just, you know, and he was cute. I mean, come on, you know. Yeah, we're still friends on Facebook. Yeah, I mean, so you know, there's no hard feelings, and trust me, I embarrassed the crap out of myself back in high school and end of middle school concerning everything that surrounded that. But like I've always wondered if I just kind of used liking him as an excuse to avoid dating other people in that school, which I don't know. I mean, there wasn't really. I went to a small school, so there weren't that many people to date. Um, so, yeah, I mean, as a result, I ended up not dating in high school and not dealing with a love life. I mean, I kind of had a fling senior year with somebody. I'm not entirely sure if I call it a fling or whatever. I don't know. It's again, we're friends. We're still friends. It didn't end well because it kind of took a 2 year break, picked up in college right when I left UMHB. And it was weird. I think that's all I could really say. It was just like, it was weird. I don't know. I don't know. It was just, like I said though, I've had like this book's made me kind of reevaluate, or not really reevaluate, but just kind of think back about kind of like, you know, people who liked me in the past, and I've had people who liked me in the past, and I liked them back when I was 10. And yeah, I mean, it makes you kind of reflective, and also kind of introspective about like where you are at this point in time, and whether or not anything, like, you know, things are worth keeping, things are worth just seeing, and you know, just kind of reinforcing what you already know about something, and that's it's a good thing. One of the other things, away from a relationship of the romantic type in here, I liked about this book is the writing style. I did like the writing style. Like I said, there's some there's typos. Typos happen, especially when you're a self-published novel. You don't exactly or writer. She doesn't exactly have a editor, or like, a highly positioned, paid college graduate editor making buku bucks, buku billion bucks, and like, um, throwing manuscripts out the window and looking at the odd one kind of thing. Yeah, so you don't have that. You don't have that polished. It's not a polished book. It's not going to be. And so that's my warning to anybody who reads this book. It's not polished. It's not going to be. And don't get offended or angry when you find that it isn't, because that's not what matters. The story that matters. And I would say the execution of most of the novel went very well. It did get a little confusing at the very end. I wasn't, like, when she and Aaron ended up breaking up, I wasn't entirely sure what sparked the breakup. She knows. Excuse me. She knows, and I guess the reader is left to suspect why, but it was kind of a little jarring because I didn't quite expect the breakup to be right when it was. But there was also a lot of kind of like, back and forth. There's a little poem in near the end, and we don't know much because the book starts out about a car crash. We don't really know much about what happened with that car crash. We just know that it happened, and we don't really know the context. We don't know any of that. We just know that there was a car crash, and so it's kind of, that one was a little hard to hash out too, like, what just happened. So the ending was vague, but I think, considering the fact that the title of this book is Remedy for Memory, and we do know that the character was writing this book to recover her memories, I'm suspecting that that's part of the reason why everything, it does seem sketchy. I mean, this is a book pretty much told from an unreliable narrator. So it makes it all the more interesting because it's only her mind. I mean, it's in first person, so it's only her mind. It's all from her point of view, and so just there's certain aspects of her and Aaron's relationship at the very end that make it kind of hard to follow, and I feel like that was purposefully done. If it wasn't, then it was hard to follow the ending. But I still like the ending. I didn't like close this and think, like, I didn't read the ending and go, oh my gosh, ugh. No, I still felt satisfied with the ending because kind of when you first start reading, you already know the journey is going to be sketchy at best, and that it just starts, it's going to start like, going on a downhill spiral the further you get into the book. And it does. And so, yeah. And you also, one of the other things I like about this is that this book is that there are friendly relationships between the main character, other guys, and other girls. Like, you actually see the friendships of her and her friends in there, and in some cases her and Aaron's friends. I also like I would have liked to know a little bit more about this character called Susie. That one I will definitely say I would like to know more about, because she was just kind of there for the purpose of making the main character jealous, which is fine because again, this was nearing the end of the novel where she became far more unreliable as a narrator, and so it was like the narration, everything was starting to get kind of vague, and I guess Susie was just kind of there. And to her, she probably was just kind of there. Obviously, to Aaron, this girl Susie was a friend, but, just kind of a friend who obviously liked him, or at least liked him from what the character Trisha could tell. So yeah, I mean it was a good read. I enjoyed it. This was I bought this book specifically for NaNoWriMo month. This is one of my NaNoWriMo reads. I'm also reading Elder Origins by Brie Fauché, I think. I think I mispronounced it in the other video, or her last name in the other video. But yes, Remedy for Memory. I'm gonna give 4 out of 5 stars because of the kind of I'll say too hazy ending that left me a little confused. Still satisfied, but just still a little confused. And also the typo issue. Just, you know, when you're skimming over the book, just look over it a little bit more. If you think you have to look over it a fourth, like typos are going to happen. I've found typos in the Harry Potter books, and I still give all of them 5 out of 5 stars. But there were some that that were jarring to the point where it actually affected the story. So definitely when it comes to typos, self-published authors, and I'm going to be a self-published author too at some point. I'm going to publish my NaNoWriMo novel as well. Just keep in mind when you feel like you've hashed out all the typos, go back and look at them again. Because, chances, and these were typos that I think everybody who writes would normally catch, but, won't. And, of course, the really jarring ones were near the end of the book, so it was, I having edited things, my own stuff myself, I do know for a fact that the further towards the end you get, the harder it is to just kind of want to, you don't particularly want to finish, but you just got to plow on. Yeah, so 4 out of 5 stars. And I mean, really, other than those 2 main issues that I had, I really like the book. And Brista Drake or The Writing Mime, I can't wait to see what else you're going to come out with. And definitely, I'm definitely going to be watching for more of your work. And I'm going to say this right now, I'm not the biggest fan of contemporary fiction, YA or adult, and if you come out with another one of those, I'm definitely going to read it. You're my favorite contemporary fiction author. So anyway, have a good day. Enjoy the evening. It's night right now, and yeah, so enjoy the night. Sleep well, and have a good Monday. Bye.